And excited for our next presenter, who is joining us from Texas, I believe. Is that right? Rhea, are you here? Hooray!
Yes, I am. Hi.
What a treat to get to spend a bit more time with you. Rhea, welcome back to Gift.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am tired. It is 8 a.m. here, but I'm ready to do this.
Amazing. Well, Rhea, I'm going to hand over the virtual stage, the virtual podium. And please, why don't you tell us about, I believe you're telling us about a local initiative that you've started.
Yes, I'm going to talk about my organization that I started. Club now, organization planned, called Relate. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to y'all about it. I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right. Okay, so hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rhea Karumuru. I presented at the Gift back in January about another program I'm involved with, but I wanted to come back and talk a little bit about the work that I have done on my own. So yeah, it's called Relate. I'll explain to y'all about it today. I'm the founder and president of it, and there's my personals, and yeah, here we go. There you go. Relate, the power of communication. Okay. So first, before I get into what really we do, I want to talk about why we do and what we do, and I guess how we got into it and how I came up with it. Okay, so when I turned 16, this was in 2019, before Corona. Oh, okay, good times. I had a birthday party that I had my friends and family there, and at that party, people gave speeches. And out of the entire night, there was one speech that really stuck with me, and I believe everyone else, because there was not a dry eye in the room when he talked. It's a good friend of mine for a really long time now, and he went up to speak. And basically, he talked about how middle school was the hardest years of his life for him. He was suicidal. He was just in a really bad place, dealing with things within family, everything. He ended up having to be admitted to a hospital. It was just not a good time for him. In that speech, he told me, "I just want to thank you for being there for me." And everyone basically started crying. I did as well. I realized that not even paying attention, just being a friend to somebody, I made such a big impact on their life. I didn't even realize it. And he's a very I'm fine, I can do everything on my own kind of guy. So hearing it from him especially was a good, I can actually make a difference if I put some work into this, you know? So through that, I came up with, I guess, Relate. So the concept is, what can I do really? How can I make this kind of support system for other people as well, right? So I came up with Relate. Relate is this is how we're starting off, is a club at my school where we can allow people to come in and get that same kind of support system, and have someone to hear, just have someone to listen to what they're saying. So by this, I mean that everyone goes through something or the other, right? It comes to a point of people, especially nowadays, students are less likely to talk about how they feel because they feel that their problems just aren't big enough, or that they'll burden their friends by telling them. So I wanted to start Relate saying that is not true. There are people who will listen to you. Our sponsor came up with this analogy, or told me this at least, about called pickles on a sandwich, where let's say something bad happened at home. Okay, I'm a little bit upset. Doesn't even have to be something bad. Maybe you stubbed your toe. I mean, that is pretty bad in my opinion. But let's say something happened at home. Then you go off to get some lunch. On the way to lunch, let's say you got cut off. And we'll say it's Texas rules, so no one knows what a speed limit is here. And let's say you get cut off, or on the way, there's bad traffic, you get late. You go to your restaurant, you order your sandwich, and there's pickles on your sandwich. And let's say you hate pickles. Okay, so you have a breakdown because of the pickles on your sandwich. See, the whole breakdown is not about the fact that there's pickles on the sandwich purely. It's because, oh, it's just one other inconvenience I have to deal with. At my school, I felt like the extreme ends of mental health were covered and taken care of through counseling, peer support groups, such things like that. But I felt that the things like the pickles on our sandwiches weren't really being covered or talked about. And when it gets to a point where people are really going through something, a lot of pickles on your sandwich could really make an impact on a student's life. So yeah, I started Relate, and Relate is that place where people can go talk about the pickles on their sandwich and let them get some things off of their chest and help them work through it. So how we do this is we have meetings with base topics. Our base topics include how are you doing? How are you feeling? How's relationships, family, school? How's that all going? It's kind of like a little check-in. Basically, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Basically. And then we have a new theme weekly. For example, some of the themes that we have covered, topics, have been like how relationships have changed during COVID, family during finals week. It was how we're dealing with the exams and how we're prepping for them, and other things that could possibly cause stress or anxiety, even in the smallest, even if it's the pickles on your sandwich. So then we have our sponsor for it is our student assistance counselor at our school. She sits with us. She sits far enough away that when we do the check-ins and begin the theme, she's not really in earshot, because another thing that students don't like to talk about is they feel like, oh, I'm just going to tell this counselor and then they're going to tell my parents and then they're not going to. No, it's nothing like that. She's just there in case somebody says something that's potentially dangerous, or fear that we're going to, with the fear that they might harm themselves. And again, because it's a place to promote casual conversation, of course, we hope it never gets to that. And yes, encourage conversation through inclusion and casual settings. Basically, we want you to feel included. And it goes back to that. Everyone has someone that they can talk to. And like I said, no matter how big or how small you're dealing with, it can always be heard by others and made you feel good about it. Yeah. Okay. So our organizational vision, like I said, as of now, we're just functioning as a club at our school in person, and it's just peer-led advisory. But we have so many big plans that, oh my gosh, it makes me excited just thinking about it. So one thing that we want to do is, of course, go nonprofit and have many school sponsors, many school charters to reach basically as many people as we can. Because I feel that if we just do it with one school, we really can't get to all we need. In person and anonymous, also thinking about making it like a virtual platform or forum where people can go in and discuss what it is and get direct help with a expert. It can either be a mental health expert, or it can just be like a counseling or advising expert. So based on what the person is feeling, they can get categorized care, peer-led, volunteer, and expert-led advisory. Pretty much explanatory. There's 3 levels of membership, and this will allow more people to be active in it. How people can be involved: there's officers, members, volunteers. Officers are going to be each at the school location. Members are going to be the people who form different charters at the new schools, and volunteers would be the adults who choose to, I guess, help with the mission, and are those experts who help advise the students. We actually started, we all have our website that's live, that has all some more information on it, and our email and our Twitter. And yeah, thank you so much. You can find us at Twitter at relate8 at Marcus, website relatenow.org, and you can contact us at that email. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and for continuing to come up with such innovative and empathetic solutions to challenges that you face. I'm curious, Rhea, you're clearly in such an awesome, inspired moment of the creation of this initiative.
Thank you.
For folks who are watching right now, how can they help you specifically, or what's a specific request for members of the audience today at GIFT?
Yeah, so one of our biggest things that we're trying to focus on right now is the overall awareness of our club and our mission. So best things that you could do would be follow us at our Twitter at Relate, RELATE MHS. MHS is the school that I'm at. And like I said, just right now, that's just where we are, but we have so many bigger goals. Or at our website, which is relatenow.org. Keeping up with us at either of those places and your continued support, that would mean the world.
Fantastic stuff, really. Sherilyn, do you have any questions? Oh, I'm seeing that you already have some new fans on YouTube, so good to report that.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you have a question from YouTube, Erin?
Let me check it out. Can't wait. Already bookmarked. I don't see any questions yet. Just a lot of support for seeing young people who are contributing to making the future brighter. We are happy to have you here, and I cannot wait for the next gift in a few months, Rhea, to hear.
I can't wait myself.
What more magic you're up to then.
I'm curious, Rhea, with your thoughts about, a 501c3 nonprofit arm, which is both pragmatic and necessary and good. Do you have any thoughts in which direction you want to go with that? I know the audience and myself personally were connected to quite a huge philanthropic family. So there are connections out there that I'm sure many others, other than myself, who's been in the nonprofit world for 30 years, would like to connect to you. But I'm curious first, what direction? Because at least in my advanced age, I can't believe how brilliant you are at your age. I'm 57, so you're way cooler than I was at that time. I'm kind of the hub of a wheel of a lifetime of nonprofits. And if I'm going to connect you, I would like to at least start going off the right direction. Can you direct me well?
Yeah, so with the nonprofit, if I'm understanding that that's what you're asking, what we use that for. Basically, like I said, we want to basically turn this into like an online forum where students can anonymously reach out to receive help. The nonprofit would be to, I guess, instead of taking the money into ourselves, to take care of the experts and allow everyone else who worked towards it, take care of that. Or I guess the volunteers, I should say, that's better to explain. And not only that, it keep the website running and keep our domain name. And yeah, I would use it for that, basically better outreach.
And this is where I too haven't had enough coffee, so I didn't phrase my question well enough. I'm already at the part, that you need nonprofit, and you're right, you're correct. Have you thought about what direction of a nonprofit you might want to partner with as well as an That's my fault.
Okay, you're good. I have not yet. I'm still trying to focus on, I guess, strengthening our current school charter, and I'm currently on the steps of expanding the charters itself. So I have not yet started the thinking about partnership within the nonprofit.
So would you be willing for me to think about that for you and get in touch?
Absolutely. I would really appreciate that because I don't know too much about it myself. So I would love for that. Yes, please.
I didn't either, but I do now. So I'd like to share that with you, and I'm glad you'll be open to that.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. I'd really appreciate that.
Terrific.
From everything I do know, which is very little, a strong purpose is the most fundamental difference. And it's so mighty clear and evident how strong your why is and your that North Star that drives you. So I have no doubt that there's going to be a lot of opportunity in collaboration with others to make that great impact and change. And thank you for being so committed to a healthier future for yourself and for others. It's wonderful to hear about. Rhea, we'll see you soon, I hope. Good luck.
I hope so too. See y'all next time. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
giving me the opportunity to speak and come back again. And it really means the most to me. So thank you so much.